The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Welcome back to another poolside preview. I'm here with Eagles head swim coach Ben Young. Ben, y'all have had some time off the past couple weeks following the trip to South Carolina. What has been y'all's approach to rest and recovery, and how has it helped y'all get ready for the second half of the season?
It's always an interesting time of the year. You get done with midseason, and then you have Thanksgiving coming right after that, and then you come back. You've got 3 days of classes, and you're going right into finals. So, as far as the approach goes, we had a great midseason. I'll say good midseason. Had some really good swims. Had some swims that we kind of left us with our heads scratching. But all in all, I mean, again, it was very obvious that when we got to the last day of midseason that the swimmers needed a little bit of time away, needed a much deserved break. But I mean, in all reality, took that week to be with some family, friends, all that stuff, and then everyone coming back has been ready to go, and so we've taken this last week and brought them back up in overall volume and whatnot, and then again, the goal is to then drop back, going into Wingate this weekend. So hopefully we'll see some pretty solid swimming. But again, it was very obvious they needed that break, and now it's just time to get right back to work and continue pushing on to get ready for that second part of the season.
Y'all open up the second part with a tough SAC opponent, number one ranked team in the SAC at Wingate, coming here to Mossy Creek, beginning this Friday and Saturday, 2-day meet. And just what has been the message to the team approaching this meet? What is the level of intensity that you've been wanting to see in practice and them just getting ready?
Yeah, Wingate, again, there's not much you can say about Wingate without at least having to admit that they're a very, very good team, right? And so for us, obviously, we always want to beat Wingate. We always want to go head-to-head with them. I think our season, it was felt last year that we didn't have or the last 2 years, really, that we hadn't had our dual meet with them. And so the fact that we're coming back into that, and then again we're getting back on the schedule of them being here for a year, us being there for a year, I think it's always a great atmosphere. Again, both teams want quality racing, even in a dual meet. We want to make sure that the dual meet actually matters, and that there we have some skin in the game and a little bit of bragging rights for certain events and things of that nature. And in all reality, at the end of the day, there's a reason for it being a two-session meet. There's a reason for it, for us having it to where we're going to have a Friday night, Saturday morning. We again want to set ourselves up to be able to swim fast, and we want to make sure that the design of the meet offers that ability as well. And so Wingate's always really big on that. We share a similar mindset when it comes to swimming fast and wanting to compete and getting up and racing, and we don't want it to just be a meaningless dual meet, right? And so the fact that both squads, both schools really have that same mentality is going to be great. It's going to be a fun meet. It's going to be a very loud meet, and it's hopefully going to serve as a good way to finish this semester.
What, at this point in the season, you've been able to evaluate a lot of the swimmers and their performances in practice and also in meets. Who are you really looking out to see and see if they'll have a breakout second half of the season? And what have they shown you so far that would make you think that up to this point?
Yeah, again, simple answers on the men's side would be Will Humphreys and Cameron Nichols, right? So Will, coming off of everything that he's dealt with over this last year of hip surgery and whatnot, for him to come back and do what he did at midseason, it's just a testament of the amount of work that he's been willing to do over the last year since he's been able to come back and get back in the water. So Cameron Nichols is one that every time he gets in the water, he seems to learn something new about his stroke or about his race or how to fix it, and he's a lot more aware of his body than he was when when he came, in August. And so for him, he just continues to get better and better and realize more and more of how to swim and how to swim his events, which is fantastic. The kid loves to grind. Will loves to grind as well. And so both of them, because of that work ethic and because of that mentality, I think they're setting themselves up for a really, really good rest of the season. On the women's side, again, going to go with Emma Bowling and then Olivia Kermure. But for both of them, again, they're kind of on that cusp of getting invited, and yet both of them didn't, their mindset didn't deter at all when they were just off at midseason. So now it's, hey, what do we need to do over these next 7 to 10 weeks to really figure out how to hone in on everything that is going to allow you to make it to nationals and to really have that standout second part of the season. So those four really, again, the list could go on for days, but really those four have been standouts for us to say, hey, they're continuing to put in the work, they're continuing to keep a strong mindset, and they're continuing to accept every challenge that we throw at them. So those four, again, hopefully will have some play a massive role in our team moving forward.
Looking at your just evaluation up to this point in the season, you'll have reached past the midway point. Big races yet to come for the team. It's kind of a season of recalibration, maybe not of expectation, but of how we want to approach practice and how we want to approach meets. And as a coach, what's one thing that you've noticed that maybe needs to be changed for the second half of the season?
Yeah, again, every like I say to the team all the time, every season gets a little messy, right? And it's up to us to kind of steer that ship and figure out kind of, hey, this is what helps the most. We don't need this as a part of our team, right? And so really, again, for us, the recalibration period has been these last couple of weeks of like, hey, where were we? What did we see at midseason? Where can we move from here to get better? And again, it's not always on the swimmer, right? Like, again, for us as a coaching staff, there's 1,000 ways for us to get better as well. And so really that's been the main theme of, hey, okay, cool. What did we see at what did we see at midseason that we can then take into Wingate that can help us continue to improve? So again, for us, it's making sure that we then accept those challenges and carry on. I feel like we did a really good job of that at the beginning of the season, but as the season starts to wear on you, and as results start to wear on you, and as classes start to wear on you, again, the list goes on. But it's really difficult to keep that positive mindset, and really it's just, hey, you guys got a little bit of time home, you got some time away from campus, so now let's come back, let's be ready to go, understand the timeline that we have right now, and figure out what we need to do to actually accomplish whatever it is that each person wants to accomplish.
What is the message you want to send to your team coming off of the Wingate meet? They're gonna have a break from school, have the Christmas break, time with family. How do they stay focused with also preaching to them? This is time for you to just kind of maybe step away for a little bit, but always just remember your training. Remember not to do anything too crazy, and just stay focused on the things that are important.
Yeah, so we said it a lot last year, and again we'll say it again this year as well. It would be a shame for everyone to put in as much work as they did over this last semester, and then go home and not do anything. Yes, will there be some that probably need to be in a little bit more than others, just based on where they are? Absolutely, right? But still, in the end, this team has gone through so much this semester, has jumped over so many, or through so many hoops, have smashed through boundaries and obstacles that have been put in their way, and for them to then realize, hey, there's no reason to put in all of this work if you're just going to go home for 2 weeks and do nothing, right? And so it would be an absolute shame for them to do that. And so again, that's the message to them, is like, hey, take your breaks where they're due and where they're needed, but at the same time, let's understand that we still have a lot of season left, and in all reality, it is the most important part of the season. So it really is up to them to say, hey, we've got to continue to stay in the water. We've got to continue to carry on with what we've built on so far, and then see what can come of that. When we finish out the season.
Ben, thanks so much for your time. That's Eagles head swim coach Ben Young. The Eagles welcome in the Wingate Bulldogs this Friday beginning at 6 p.m. here at the Maddox Student Activity Center. I'm Jay West with the Eagle Sports Network.